and welcome to Long Live the Queen, where we talk about the women who made history. And by we, I mean the royal we, because it's just me. Today we're going to talk about Lolth, Queen of the Demon Web Pits.
Pretenders, one day we will be remembered.
Usually it's the royal we, because it's just me, but today I have my friend Ross with me. Hi, Ross.
Hi there. Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks for
And
joining me.
yeah, Christina was nice enough to ask me to come be on her podcast. And she said, "Hey, want to pick a queen that you want to, review with me?" And I said, "Sure. How about Lolth, Queen of the Demon Web Pits?"
Yeah, this is new for me.
Throw her for a loop. You can just go for a fantasy character instead. So,
Yeah, this is definitely, it's a little harder to talk about someone that I don't already know about, but I did do a lot of studying, so this should be good.
oh, great, great, excellent. I'll try to fill in any empty holes you missed
Perfect.
on the storyline and stuff, and let's do it.
Lolth was born in, I don't know, she doesn't seem to have a birth date, but she is known in certain groups as a queen of the spiders, or queen of the demon web, or queen of the drow. Originally, Lolth was known as Arashni, the
Yeah.
weaver of destiny. Her boss, Corlin, put the dark elves under her purview, and also they were banging, her and her boss. Together they
And
had...
Corlon was the god of the elves.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Together they had two children, Veyron, the Masked Lord, and Elistre, the Dark Maiden. She resented Corlon and strove to overthrow and replace him. She was jealous. She was a little jelly of her man. And she,
And she was evil. She was born evil.
yeah,
She
evil
was
and jealous and just
conniving
a
and
hot
manipulative.
mess. She did this by teaming up with the orcs, Corlin's arch nemesis.
Yeah,
So,
his name was Grumish. He was a deity of the orcs, and he hated Corlon with a passion.
so she's like, hey, I hate him too, so let's team
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
But also there was this one chick, Sahanin Moonbow, and she thought Arashni was super sus and was like, I think she's up to something. So she kept foiling the plan. She was like the Scooby Gang, like, nope, not this time.
Yeah.
So Arashni needed to get her out of the way, and I'm not totally clear how she did it, but it involved her son, and she got her out of the way. Temporarily. Arashni gathered an army of orcs, goblinoids, giants, ogres, and the like, all those kind of guys. And she was kind of playing double agent. She was still pretending like she was Corlon's friend, but really she was just trying to kill him. And so there was a lot of fighting. She cursed her own daughter's arrows so that when her daughter would shoot the arrows, they would go straight into Corlon's chest, her father. Which I think is a dick move for a mom. You make your kid kill her dad.
Here, have these great magic items. Try this.
Right?
She was
But,
being helpful
yes.
to herself.
But her rebellion failed. It was a whole three goddess thing. A transformer situation. They three goddesses, and then they turned into this one tri-goddess. I don't know. And they defeated Arashni and saved Corlon, and he was pissed. So he cursed her and threw her into hell, basically. And cursed her with spider form.
Kind of similar to the way that Medusa was cursed.
Yes. Sort of a whole,
just turned her into a horrific creature,
Yeah.
turned her into a demon. She basically downgraded her from a goddess to a demon.
Yeah, it's a whole Lucifer fallen angel situation. Except she was always a little bit evil.
Yeah,
But
in
they noticed.
Dungeons and Dragons, just to be nerdy, like this isn't already nerdy. The Abyss is a plane of existence where demons come from, and he banished her to the 66 layer and sent her there, and she became basically the demon lord of that level of the Abyss.
I heard that level is just all like one giant spider web.
Yeah.
Like
And
gigantic
she
spider
basically,
web.
she defeated the lord that was there named Zanasu, and they don't really. I couldn't find much on him. I think it was just like a placeholder of the story for them to say Lolth defeated him and took over that lair. So,
Gotcha. She is the most influential goddess of the drow, which are, to the best of my knowledge, dark elves?
yeah, dark elves. Yeah,
I
They
mean,
live
I don't want to say
underground.
evil,
They build huge.
because they're not all
cities.
evil, right?
No, not all evil. No, some of them have split from Lolth. The ones that do worship her typically are evil. she manipulates the Drow to, well, she's very chaotic evil. And
Yeah.
so she encourages chaos within her followers.
She's a pot stirrer.
It's kind of like the Sith Lords, you know,
Yeah.
they, you know, kind of encourage their apprentices. If they have two apprentices, they encourage them to fight because then the surviving one would be the
Yeah,
stronger
she's
one.
like, she'd be a great housewife.
And
Like
same thing
housewife
with
of
the Drow.
hell.
Is that what how she? Yeah, she manipulates them. Yeah, yeah. She pits entire house and families against each other, so they will
Just
fight
for
each other.
fun. Just for
And
fun.
if one gets destroyed, it might weaken the city a little temporarily, but then basically the the ones who win will take all the stuff and the followers from that family and they become theirs, so they grow bigger. So
Survival of the fittest kind of army
yeah,
style.
she'll even yeah, exactly. She'll even give her enemies of her people, um, you know, like luck and help and assistance if they will come in and cause havoc within her
So
followers
rude.
and make them. I know.
It's like the worst god
You know,
to
she
follow.
really is totally chaos. Yeah, exactly.
And I guess I should mention at this point, now she really is Lolth, because that's when she got her new name, when she got thrown into hell.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
no
Once she's
more
gotten into the
Arachne.
demon web pit.
Yes, she's
Yeah.
now Lolth. And she has a couple of forms she can appear in. The first is a 12-foot or 3.7 meter diameter black widow spider. Or alternatively, a 6-foot or 1.8 meters tall beautiful female drow. But word on the street is that her true form is a combination of the two. A giant spider with the head of a beautiful drow.
Yeah,
That sounds like nightmare fuel.
yeah.
She
Just
bit-
beautiful.
Yikes. She
Yeah,
bit-
it's a big bloated spider, not just a small, skinny, daddy long legs type spider.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a huge
a
bloated type.
juicy spider. Ooh, gross.
But what if it was Taylor Swift?
With a spider
With the
body?
face of Taylor Swift with a spider body.
No, no, thank you. I like Taylor Swift just the way she is.
Taylor Swift Spider Queen.
No, thank you. She would be a snake queen, if anything.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
She built her reputation as a goddess of cruelty, reveling in betrayal and bloodshed, toying with everyone from her minions to her victims, and a lot of times her minions were her victims. She seemed to not only enjoy but thrive on torture, destruction, and death. So, good times, good times. But maybe that was just a rumor spread by her haters, although I don't think so, because it seems pretty universally known. Lolth demanded absolute obedience from her people. Even questioning her was considered a sin. It was very Henry VIII of her. You couldn't question him either. He'd just chop your head off.
Yeah, but she wanted them to question each other, though,
Yeah.
to betray each other. But
Yeah, she was just
yeah,
a
she
pot
wanted
stirrer. She
total
caused the
obedience.
problem
Yeah,
and then just watched the chaos unfold.
right.
She was an epic man-hater.
Now that supposedly is true, but
It
there's
seems
a
true.
famous drow, a famous drow named Drizzt Do'Urden. He's a male drow who used to be under one of the houses within one of her cities, and he rose above it, became a ranger of good, and he went to the surface and met a bunch of people, and allied with them.
And she was like, the betrayal.
Yeah, she was really pissed at him and tried to send people after him to kill him from the city, and
She didn't like a
told
good
all
guy.
her matrons. But he defeated all of them, and then she found, oh, I could use him instead to sow, the chaos within my own city, within my own.
Oh, yeah. She's like,
people.
he'll fight my
So
people.
she started using him. So she almost started favoring him.
Oh, that's like a weird mind trick.
Yeah. Yeah, she even
Be like, I hate you, but I love
arranged
you.
to save. Yeah, he even died once, and he saved her life. Basically, his life. Basically, raised him from the dead.
Oh,
So
that's handy to have
so
her
there's
around
lots of
sometimes if you're
stories.
him.
Yeah, yeah. So
Uh,
there are. So although he's a total man hater. but,
Yes.
she can pick and choose, I guess.
Oh, yes.
So,
Well, she was an epic man hater, but that didn't mean she didn't want their love and devotion. She wanted them to love her, even though she hated them.
yeah. And he never became a follower of her. This Drizzt Do'Urden.
Yeah, he
he's
doesn't
always
seem like
been
the
against
type.
her. So Yeah.
Lolth tried to extend her web to other elves and humans, but that didn't go great. Mostly they didn't dig her, but occasionally she would get a convert, and that gave her great joy. She was like, they do love me. Her hobbies included torture and devastation, and she loved setting her followers against each other, but that was just to weed out the weak. Like we said before, it was Fight Club, so that's relatable.
Yeah.
I used to tell people that I was in Fight Club when they would ask about my bruises from Taekwondo.
Yeah, you were
Like,
in actual Fight Club.
Yeah, we don't talk about Fight Club. At first I was saying it was consensual fighting, but that didn't go over well. So...
But just say it's consensual torture. Put it that way.
Yeah. So I changed it to Fight Club. I'm like, we don't talk about Fight Club. Well, the word on the street...
Maybe you're being manipulated by Lolth.
Yeah. Well, word on the street was that she was technically capable of displays of kindness. It wasn't really observed ever, really at all. She wasn't known as kind.
I think kindness was probably mistaken as she wanted her way, wanted people to do certain things, so she'd be kind to them, and then they would do what she wanted.
Yeah.
And then she's like, yes, I got them.
Manipulation.
She wasn't being kind. She was, it's total manipulation.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much kindness in her, so.
Well, her ultimate motivation seemed to always be manipulative, and I'm sure that probably goes back to her childhood, because that's what all manipulative people's... goes back to their childhood, even though we don't know about her childhood.
I couldn't find much about her childhood. Usually,
I'm going to guess bad.
Talk about how they were raised as children and things like that. So.
Some suspected that she suffered from severe mental health issues because she was just really dark, and therapy wasn't a thing, so that's unfortunate. She often contradicted herself, confusing everyone, but I think that was kind of the point. Also, if everyone was confused, it was easier to get them to fight. To her followers, her cunning seemed to be a more important factor than her sanity. Lolth never entered into a stable relationship as she viewed everyone as less than her. So it's hard to find a good man when you are the best in the whole universe. What would you call it? The whole world?
Yeah, in the
just
whole.
The best.
Yeah, I would say world. Yeah,
the best in the world.
Or plane.
Oh, plane, that's a good word. Yeah, she was the best in her whole plane of existence. It's hard to find the love of your life when everyone else sucks. A daughter named Elistre, who enjoyed beauty, dance, and freedom. So that apple fell pretty far from the tree. And a son named...
As far as it could get, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, as far as you could get.
And a son named Veyron, who obviously struggled with his man-hating mother, because he's a man.
She automatically hated him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a given. He worked toward gender equality for men, so that's good. I'm glad someone's working on the important issues, because men need that help.
Yeah, and then keep in mind, those are both god and goddesses as well.
Yeah.
Because they were born from her, and so
and her
they
god
actually
man.
have. Yeah, both of them have followers. Many of them Drow, or most of them Drow.
I'm not gonna lie, her
well,
daughter sounds more fun to follow than her. Like, that's who I'd pick, I think, her daughter.
Yeah.
So he...
Yeah, because you want them dancing, you know?
Right? I mean, it's fun.
Just a bitter, man who's going, hey, love us.
Right? Exactly.
We deserve to be equals.
Yeah. He was working towards gender equality for men, and his mother did not approve of that. She was like, no, that's not what this world needs. And the blackest of sheep, another daughter named Vandria. After her mother betrayed her, she became very dark and grim, which, relatable. I mean, when your mother betrays you, what else are you going to do?
You become your mother.
Exactly. Oh, except for the other daughter, who seems delightful, who was forced to shoot her own father. She managed to work through her anger a little bit.
She was daddy's girl. So.
Yeah. Despite their similarities, Lolth and her youngest daughter found very little common ground, even though their personalities were similar. They were both kind of dark and twisty.
Yeah. Evil. Just evil.
Yep.
Plain evil.
Lolth then turned against her son as she saw no benefit to gender equality for men, because that whole man-hating thing. Lolth eventually saw her son Veyron as her ultimate rival and enemy. He was a threat because he was becoming popular amongst the commoners, and she didn't like competition. He wanted his followers to work together, but she thrived on the chaos. Veyron became known as the Masked Lord, which is a pretty rad nickname.
Yeah, that's a very cool name.
It's kind of like Zorro-y, a little bit. Lolth worked very hard toward repression of any other worship other than her own. She was not religiously tolerant. She was kind of Queen Mary the First in that way.
Oh, she has lots to be bitter about,
Yes.
I
mean,
it,
you get thrown into hell.
It was her fault. It was her
Yeah.
fault, but
She was a sneaky bitch, and she got caught, and she got thrown into hell, but, I mean, you're gonna be mad if you get thrown into hell. She's probably like, why couldn't we just work it out? Meanwhile, he has an arrow in his chest. There's a lot of war. War, more war, more war. But if you aren't new here, you should know I don't cover the battles. So I'm just going to say battle, 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 and moving on. And that is where I'll leave it for now. What did you think of Lolth?
since I've read a lot of stories that had her in it, and I've run a lot of adventures where she was the main bad guy. And so I love using her and the Drow. The Drow
She's
are
fun.
amazing enemies. They're just really, you can put a lot of detail and character into them and run great adventures. We ran a campaign, I think, with Stu, our friend. He ran a campaign where we went against the Drow for I think 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
And, it was about going underground and fighting them and their allies and everything. And so I love Lolth.
Yeah, she's a good villain.
Yeah, she's a great villain to run and use. And
If they had
use
Real
as a
Housewives of
background
Hell, she would be the villain of them. There'd be
Oh yes, for sure.
less mean ones,
Yeah.
and she'd be the hardcore one who everyone's scared of.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so that's why I picked her.
Perfect. It was a good choice. I had fun.
And the only other queen I could think of at the time when you asked me was either Lolth or I was like, well, Queensryche? Nah.
I don't know who that is either.
that's a heavy metal group.
Oh, okay.
That would be totally off brand.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This one's a little off-brand as well, but it'll be
This
fun
is
for the
big time
50th
off.
anniversary.
But she's still a queen.
She is a queen, and I'll throw more fictitious queens in there for people to pick. I'll just be like, who wants to do the Queen of Hearts? Someone will pick that. Thank you very much for doing this with me. That was fun, and it's always fun to have company.
Yep. Anytime.
Will be remembered.
Thanks for listening.